Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I have a new art challenge for you. And today you will be working with watercolors. So go find your watercolors and a piece of mixed media paper. And what we're going to do is we are going to draw a chameleon. Yes, 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 a chameleon who changes colors. But before we draw our chameleon, we are going to paint the background all different colors and then draw the chameleon on top of it. So I have a paintbrush here that actually has water in it. It's a pretty cool paintbrush. So what you're going to do is start with any watercolor you want. Let's see here. This paintbrush, could it be clogged? Let's see here. Maybe I have to, there we go. Okay, so what you're going to do is you are going to make a circular shape with many different colors of watercolor. So I'm going to start with yellow, and I'm just going to do it in sort of a circular shape, but then I'm going to add more circular shapes around here to make another circle. So I have done yellow. I'm going to do 2 circles of yellow, one on either side. I'm going to add a little bit more water. I'm squeezing my paintbrush so it bleeds out a little bit more. And then I'm going to grab my next color, and they're just random colors, whatever colors are speaking to you. And I'm going to put some orange down here and here. I like to use colors more than once. Maybe 3 times is a good number. Next, let's do a blue. So we'll get some blue in here. Some squeezing quite a bit because I want it to be really liquidy. And the colors kind of to bleed into each other once they touch. Okay, I'll do another blue over here. I should just get a regular paintbrush because this isn't doing what I want it to do. I'm going to use 2 hands. There we go. Okay, now, can anyone guess my favorite color? It's pink. So I'm going to get some pink and squeeze really hard. And I'm okay with the colors blending into each other like that. So I'm going to do another pink over here. Give a little bit more water. And as you can see, it's kind of turning more purple because it's touching the blue. So I'm going to add some red now. Just swirl it around. And I'm keeping this circular shape, right? I want to color in all of the holes. So let's try a green here. And I'm not rinsing out my brush because I'm using so much water. It's just kind of rinsing it out for me. So some green, and I'm definitely making it run into the other colors on purpose. Pop that air bubble, and then I have just a little bit left here to fill in and extend this a little bit more. And let's do, my nose is right, like a purple. So we'll get a little bit of purple and go like that. All right. Okay, so that is step 1. I'm going to pause the video, take my hair dryer, go dry hair, take the and hair dry, use the hair dryer and dry this off, and then I'll be back to show you step 2. I think I might fill this in real quick. It feels a little bit like I need something here. So maybe let's see what color. Let's do it just another orange. There we go. That feels better. Okay, let me go dry this. You can dry yours with your hair dryer. Just make sure you don't turn it on too full. My dog is eating something she's not supposed to. If you don't want it to run. Now, if you do want it to run, that could be cool too. So then if you do want it to run, then put it on full blast. So I will be right back. Let me see if I can pause this. And then we will do step number 2. Okay, I'm back. One thing I did notice is I probably next time would take this off because it kind of got my paper underneath a little wiggly, but it's okay. Okay, so this is completely dry. I just used the hair dryer until it was dry, or you can just wait if you want. And now I'm going to pull up just an image that I found online of a chameleon. Let me just grab it here. Give me a second. There we go. There she is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as inspiration to draw my chameleon on top of. So what you want to do is make sure you draw your chameleon inside of this circle. You don't want to go over outside. You can. I don't like to give you guys too many rules. If your creativity says that it needs to go outside, fine. But I'm going to keep mine inside. And I'm going to be using a Sharpie, and I'm not going to be using a pencil. So a pencil feels too like you need to be perfect and you can erase mistakes and stuff. I really want to embrace just the creativity coming out of you. And if you make a mistake, then that's part of it. Okay. And so I love to work with Sharpies. I call this a high res Sharpie because it is thinner. And I call this a low res Sharpie because it's thicker. So I'm going to be using a high res Sharpie. You can also use just a ballpoint pen. That's also fun to draw with. And if I had one here, I might switch to that, but I don't. So I'm just going to keep with the Sharpie. And when you draw with the Sharpie, I also like to hold my hand just a little bit different. So instead of drawing like this, I hold it straight up and down and kind of draw it like this. And again, that takes away the pressure of being perfect, and it allows my line just to be more creative and maybe more wiggly, which I like. So let's just get started. So I am just going to start with, I think I'm going to start with its back. So I am just going to follow this around, and I'm going to use this purple as like the shape of the tail. So now I'm going to start with the underbelly and go in and connect it. So there you go. There's its little tail. And then we're going to go down and look at this leg, which looks like kind of a weird leg. And then we're going to go up and we're going to connect the other leg. Looks like you can see part of the arm shoulder here. And then underneath. And now we're going to do the bottom of his chin. It's kind of a straight line. I'm going to the edge here. I think that's kind of cool. And then I'm going to go up and connect to the top. Okay, so you might look at that and you might think, That's a terrible drawing. It is not a terrible drawing. That is super creative. So let's go in and add some more detail. So let's look. Let's see his eye. There's kind of a bigger eye here, and then a smaller eye that I'm just going to color in. We see this sort of jawbone and maybe a mouth that connects up to there. Oh, my dog and my son. Hey. So now I'm going to draw this arm here. It looks like he's got a little bone here. And some other little textures. I'm going to draw a little texture here. What else do you think I'm missing, babe? I think I'm going to draw leg texture. See that there's a bone. Yeah, okay. I'm going to draw some toes. And, oh, we forgot this back leg. Let's draw the back leg. And if you want, you can grab a different chameleon picture from the web if you don't like the shape of this. And what I think I'm going to do now is, he's got like a little thumb. I think I'm actually going to draw this branch, and I'm going to have it go outside of my paper. Maybe I'll have it go all the way off. Just kind of what's speaking to me right now. So forget what I said earlier about keeping it inside. You can use your inspiration to see what you want. We'll go like this. And then what I really love to do to make these drawings just a little bit more special is I like to go in and add more texture. And how we're going to do that is with little lines. So I'm going to draw, I drew a bigger circle around, and I'm going to draw these little teeny lines around his eye just to give it a little bit more texture, like that. So you can do the same thing with the back of his head, add a little bit more texture there. We can use these little lines almost like shadows. So we can put a little shadow underneath the back of his leg there, and maybe here, and maybe here. Now I'm also going to do that same thing and follow this line that I drew down his back and around the tail, like so. All right. Now we can put some lines here on his face. What else do I see? Some lines around this arm. And of course, you can put texture and lines on your branch if you've done your branch, like so. All right, there you go. You can keep going. Another fun thing to do is if you have markers or gel pens, you could go in and color in like every other space in between these lines to give it some more color. And I'm using orange here because the background underneath is purple. And so using complementary colors are really helpful when you paint. So orange and purple are complementary colors on the color wheel. And so I'm going to use orange for that. And then let's say I've got some orange here. I might find a green gel pen to add a little bit more color here. So now is the time to kind of play around with it. You could also, what I like to do is maybe draw some circles, some textures around to add a little bit more dimension. And maybe even get your low res Sharpie out and do some bigger ones next to the smaller ones. And then you can also go back in with like your orange or your green gel pens or Sharpies and kind of do little dots around there like this too. So go ahead and just keep decorating it and coming up with new ideas to add a little bit more texture to it. So there is my chameleon. I can't wait to see yours. Take a picture of it and post it on the band app. Enjoy. Good job. We'll see you next time.